All right, another day and some more LSU news. Today, or well, I guess yesterday, because it's 2:32 a.m. right now. But yesterday, Thursday, LSU decided that they're parting ways with their athletic director Scott Woodward. This was inevitable. With how the governor has said that Scott Woodward is not going to be making the next football hire, and just all the things that the governor has been saying about Woodward. He just doesn't like him. Um, it was going to be inevitable. I didn't think it was going to happen yet. I thought it was going to happen like after the new president was hired, but LSU's moving pretty fast with this. Verge Osbury will be the interim athletic director, so I'm assuming Verge and Austin Thomas, LSU's GM, are going to be in on the hiring of the new coach. It makes sense. And I trust them. I especially trust Austin Thomas, possibly the best GM in the country, really. But yeah, Woodward is owed $6.8 million per contract, but no separation agreement has been completed yet. As far as potential candidates go, here's a list that Matt Moscona put up. Michael Alford from Florida State, Jay Atrigues from Southeastern, Verge Osbury, LSU, he's up there as well. Josh Brooks from Georgia, Heath Schroyer from McNeese. Ties to Louisiana will be a key component of this hire, and that is the same exact thing that AYS Sports here said. After talking with multiple sources, Louisiana ties will be massive, which is perfect. That's what we need. We're kind of just cleaning house, getting a new president, new AD, new head coach. We're cleaning house, man. That's what we need. Because things have been pretty toxic in there lately. So just clean house, restart, fresh start. I think that could be pretty appealing to a new head coach. You're showing this new head coach that you care about the program. You're willing to make the moves that are going to better your program, because it's as much as LSU is pretty much a baseball school. That's the sport they're best at. Football is the main moneymaker, and if Woodward, he hired Jay Johnson, he hired Kim Mulkey for women's basketball. Gymnastics is doing their thing, but he hired Mulkey and Johnson. Those two have 3 national championships in the last few years. Jay Johnson has 2 of the last 3 national championships in baseball. Even that was not enough to save this man, because he missed on the Brian Kelly and Jimbo Fisher hires for football. That's how important LSU football is to LSU. So you're showing this new head coach, whoever you go out and get, that you're willing to do whatever it takes, whether it's athletic director, whatever, that you're going to do what's best for the program. So I think maybe a fresh start and a new look at athletic director is going to be appealing for a new head coach. And I'm hearing that Josh Brooks from Georgia, that's who I would want. And I've heard from a few different people that he is the favorite. I'm also hearing stuff about Schroyer as well from McNeese. So it's hard to tell at this point, but yeah, they're probably going to be moving quick. Yeah, just like AYS here said, as reported about an hour ago, I expect this process to move extremely quickly. So we'll see, man. I did not expect this to happen before the president got hired, but here we are. The president's going to be hired on November 4th. It's now October 31st. So this is the statement from Scott Woodward, if you want to read this. Yeah. Our university will always hold a special place in my heart, and I will never be too far from LSU. Nana, Michael, Josh, and I wish the Tigers nothing but the best. Go Tigers. I mean, I like Josh, man. Or, not Josh, Scott. I liked him. I liked the hire when we got him from A&M. He just missed, man. He missed on the Jimbo hire. He missed on the Brian Kelly hire, and I trust the people making this hire for football this time. I trust them more than I would trust Scott Woodward. I mean, Scott Woodward, he was a big game hunter. He would go out there and get the big names when it comes to football. Who would have thought that when LSU pulled Brian Kelly from Notre Dame, who would have ever thought that at this point, at Kelly's age, that he would leave Notre Dame? Like, I thought that man was there until he retired. I never thought that I'd see Brian Kelly leave Notre Dame. And I think that kind of played into it being a weird fit for me at LSU because LSU and Notre Dame are just complete opposites. um, yeah, like the fact that he went and pulled Brian Kelly from Notre Dame is crazy. It's crazy, bro. And he went and got Jimbo at A&M. That was also a pretty crazy hire there, man. It just didn't turn out well. Um, but yeah, big game. He's a big game hunter, but we tried that. We tried big game hunting with Brian Kelly. It didn't work out. You're not gonna find much of a better resume than Brian Kelly. Nick Saban obviously has a better resume than Brian Kelly, but he's one of the winningest coaches in college football. Brian Kelly is, and that didn't work out with LSU. So I'm thinking we're gonna go more of a cheap route with what the governor said earlier today about, you know, there not needing to be a big contract to allure a good coach. That means it's sounding like we're not going to want to spend that much money. We're going to go a cheaper route. So when I hear that, my mind automatically goes to John Summerall. But with politics being involved with this, would you pull Summerall from Tulane to LSU? A lot of people think that doesn't make sense. Why you'd take a good coach from Tulane who's, you know, making a good bit of money. He's made Tulane a popular program again, bringing attention to Tulane. Why would you take him and put him at LSU? That's what I keep hearing, and that deters me from thinking that Summerall is going to end up at LSU. But if we're not going to spend that much money, there's Kelvin Shepherd in the NFL, which a lot of people seem to want. Braden Fehoko, who is a former LSU player, was on that 2019 LSU team that won the national championship. He has come out and advocated heavily for Kelvin Shepherd to become the next head coach. Shepherd has no head coach experience, but he would bring that dog mentality back to LSU. He's only been a defensive coordinator for this season for the Lions. So he's only been a coordinator for what, like 7 games, whatever they are into the NFL season. So yeah, if we're gonna go cheap, I'm thinking G5 coach or assistant coach, whether it's NFL or college. It's hard to tell, but I don't think Lane Kiffin is in the cards anymore. I just don't. I don't see it happening. And it's sounding like there's going to be incentive-based contract for this head coach, which means depending on how well the coach does, they will get paid for how much they win. So if you make it to the playoffs, you get paid this amount of money. If you win a national championship, you get paid this amount of money, but you only get paid that if you achieve these things. So I don't mind that contract. I've heard that that's how A&M has structured their contract with Mike Elko, and that's worked out pretty well. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see what news drops tomorrow for LSU, but it's getting interesting, man. I like that we're moving quickly. We're getting rid of Scott Woodward because if you go and call a new head coach that you're gonna want to go after, and they are asking who's my boss, and you say, well, it's this guy Scott Woodward, but we're gonna be getting rid of him, and so that's you saying like we don't know who your boss is. Um, Alignment, man. That's what coaches want. They want alignment. They want to know who their boss is. And LSU's not aligned right now, but they are going to be. So hopefully new coaches can understand that. I get more and more nervous as the days go on. Every time I get a notification on Twitter from one of my LSU beat writers, my heart starts racing. It starts racing, bro. I'm very nervous, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. But yeah. Hope you all enjoyed, man. If you did, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button. I will be making another video next time there's some LSU news, whatever it may be. I don't expect a new head coach hire to happen until like late December into January. That's my timetable. That will be about the end of the season for most teams, unless you make the college football playoff. So that's about my timetable for when I would expect a new hire at head coach. But we're gonna have a president in, new athletic director in, so we'll see, man. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have your expectations for who you think will be head coach changed at all with all of this going on? Yeah, man. Hope y'all enjoyed. I will catch you all in the next one. Hope y'all have a good day, good night, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one, man.